life. Hi, I'm Joe Paiva from GeoLearn, and I'm in the studio with Skype, and I'm using Skype to access Neil Sandler, who is publisher of Professional Surveyor, and very soon in its new form as XyHT. Neil has joined us to explain to us some of the issues that people have expressed regarding the name change and how he explains why these have changed. Neil, thanks for joining us today.
Joe, thank you for your time, and congratulations, by the way, on the successful launch of your new enterprise, GeoLearn. We're excited to have you become a part of the geospatial professional surveyor community.
Thanks, Neil. So before I actually ask you to speak, I just wanted to say, as a surveyor, when I saw XyHT and I read Dave Doyle's editorial and I read some of what you have written, it was clear to me that there is a very distinct connection from professional surveyor to XyHT. XyHT perhaps might be considered to be the central part of any geospatial data that surveyors of all stripes may do in the future, because X and Y are the same coordinate values that we often use in our surveying, but instead of Z we use H, which is the capital H, meaning autometric height, as we move into newer ways of expressing the vertical component, and then T for time, because time-based data is going to be a really important part of our future as providers of geospatial data to our clients. So Neil, apologize if I stepped on your toes trying to say that, but let me just ask you what your view was in making this transition.
I just want readers to know that the decision to change a well-established brand like Professional Surveyor magazine after 30 years, over 30 years of publication, is probably the most challenging and difficult of my 40 years in publishing. It's something that I certainly did not enter into lightly as the business owner. We did considerable due diligence. This was an idea that I had come up with 4 years ago, and quite frankly, I was the last person that needed to be convinced that it was in fact the right thing to do. So for those of you who have responded excitedly for XyHT, the launch of the transition to XyHT, thank you. For those of you surveyors who feel that quite frankly, that we're abandoning you, that's far from the case. Please give XyHT a chance to prove to you that in fact it is the future, it's exciting. Nothing is being taken from surveyors. We're trying to hand you folks the world. Quite the opposite of taking anything away from surveying. There are so many opportunities in surveying now, and those who are graduating from surveying schools, geomatics programs are being given numerous opportunities in this profession and related fields. We're bursting at the seam to launch XyHT next month, and we can't wait to show off our new product.
So I know that some of the, shall I say, negative comments about the name change perhaps have to do with the fact that so many licensed professionals use the term LS or PLS or PS after their name, and they feel that it's taking away because they lose some of that professional sense. I don't myself see that, but how would you respond to surveyors who say that particular line of thinking?
You know, quite frankly, Joe, I mean, anyone who has been following our publication has observed over the last few years that the world of surveying has been evolving for some time. I can remember about 10 years ago going out in the field with Ray O'Connor, president of TopCon, and he took me and showed me machine control. I was astounded by what I saw, and this was about 10 years ago. Today we recognize that these aspects are still considered surveying in many fields, relatedly, and we've observed over the last few years that it's moved into other fields. I mean, we've got LiDAR is a huge component now. We've got hydrographic surveying is growing. We've even had stories on metrology. Quite frankly, one of the most exciting fields that's going to be coming around the road is precision agriculture. These are all huge opportunities for anyone who's a professional in the world of precision measurement, precision positioning, and there is no one more primed to be the expert in this field than surveyors.
Forgive me if I'm putting words in your mouth, but I think I've heard you say that this entire geospatial field, if you think of the field as a physical field out there, outdoors, that land surveyors actually own the property.
I go to meetings probably every week, and I'd hear over and over again about the barriers, and I think it's time. A famous American president said, "Tear down these walls." I guess we're saying, let's tear down these walls. Let's join hands. If there's a more exciting time to be a surveyor in this country's history, I don't know when it is. I mean, it's almost in the news on a daily basis. They're not calling it surveying, but we know it's surveying. My local newspaper had two. It's a small community paper. Had two: a cover story and a story in an agricultural column. I'm in an agricultural community about the use of UAVs for precision agriculture. So local farmers are looking into precision measurement, precision tools. Yes, UAVs are coming, and they're going to be another tool in our toolbox, no differently than GPS, GIS, and on and on. I mean, scanning. I mean, some people thought we were going crazy 10 years ago when we started focusing on scanning. Well, now we know how that's worked out. So as I said, these are exciting times. And if you give me an opportunity, I know you want to ask me a little bit about the exciting staff and crew that we've put together. Can I tell you a little bit about
yeah, so let me interrupt you and ask
Please
you
do.
how things are going in terms of the organizational structure for the new magazine. Are you having a whole bunch of people who talk a completely different, funny language that professional surveyors won't understand anymore?
No. Our editors, in fact, quite frankly, we've got the rocket scientist of all rocket scientists, surveyors, Gavin Schrock, who is, I might point out, the only actual working surveyor who's editor of a magazine in our profession. Gavin constantly blows my mind when I listen to his visionary view of the world and the future. And he is a surveyor. You got Dave Doyle, who he's in your educational team. But quite frankly, Joe, we've also added some younger folks. XyHT Smith up in Philadelphia, also a working surveyor, one of our key editors. We've got Julian Clifford, who just graduated from Texas A&M in Corpus Christi. I mean, these folks their futures are ahead of them. I'm an old guy. You're not an old guy, Joe, but you're older than some of our writers. We want to build a future that's exciting for them. I'm an old guy, but I have an 11-year-old son. And I got to tell you, he reads our magazine and he looks at what's in here and he goes, "Oh my God, Dad, this is what surveyors do." And I say, it is. I mean, he was so distraught last couple weeks ago when I went to the AUVSI, the Unmanned Aerial Vehicle Conference that I saw you at down in Orlando. And then we saw it on 60 Minutes. I mean, these are tools that are going to be used by surveyors. And we just want them to recognize that these are exciting, exciting times. It's going to require you to get out of your comfort zone. It's going to require you to try things that maybe are new and different to you. But I mean, isn't that the exciting component of what we do for a living? You will be thrilled by what we're doing. And join us. We're always looking for folks who want to join our team, who have great ideas, stories to tell, interesting applications. We're looking for great stories. We're a communications company. We're not a surveying company. We're a communications company. And we want to be a leader. We want to be a leader in this field.
Well, thank you for sharing your vision for the new magazine with us, Neil. It's been great having you with us in the studio via Skype. And wish you the best of luck in July when the magazine launches.
Great. Hey, Joe, thank you very much for your time. And once again, best of luck with GeoLearn. And we look forward to partnering with you folks to educate and inform our readers. Have a great day, Joe. Thank you.
Thanks, Neil. And so that will do it for our interview with Neil Sandler, publisher of Professional Surveyor and very soon XyHT magazine.